Hey everybody, it is Taco Tuesday, and tonight we have my sweet friend Erin with us. So Erin is a rock star. She's a rock star she's also a superstar director and my friend. And she is amazing. She is like a pro at prospecting. And she was at my Swirl SSD retreat. Was that like last week? I feel like it was last week we were there, maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it
And
was.
she was talking about how she has grown her business using Goody Bags on social media on Facebook. And I was pretty mesmerized by the concept of it because it's not something I would have done in the past. But her results are fantastic, and it's a really good way to grow your customer base and meet new people you normally wouldn't. And then was it Whitney? Was it Whitney Hebel who tried it and got a recruit like the next day? Someone did, right?
Whitney Hebel.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, it totally works. So then I was like, hey, Erin, will you come talk on our Taco Tuesday about this? So um, the floor is yours, Erin. If you want to introduce yourself a little more, you're more than welcome to. If you want to dive in, that's fine. And if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. And then at the end, if Erin has time, she'll answer them.
Yes. Yes. So I am literally sweaty palms and I'm all shaky now because I'm
Oh
all
my gosh,
spotlighted and
don't be.
introducing me. So, yes. So Karen and I met each other through when we were at Superstar Director Summit virtual. That was the very first time we'd ever talked, and it was virtual. We were at the same table, and since then we have connected and we have done many things together. So I'm very excited to be here and help your team, your group grow. And so again, my name is Erin Fluharty. I'm a Superstar Director. I am residing in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I moved in 2014, knowing nobody. So that's a little bit of my story and the background of this process I want to tell you guys about. So I moved from Northern Virginia. I didn't know anybody in Charleston, and my husband and I just spent many years he went to Kiowa Island, and I went to Myrtle Beach. So we decided on going somewhere in the middle. We chose Charleston, and that's where we have raised our two girls. And anyways, that's a little bit about me. When I first moved here, like I said, I didn't know anybody, and all of my friendship circles stemmed from Facebook. And so I know that kind of sounds a little nerdy or a little lame, maybe even. But I will tell you, it stemmed from really enjoying crocheting, you guys. Like, I mean, it's just something that I enjoy. I like to crochet, and I met a group of girls and we crocheted together. We did for a long time up until the pandemic, and we'd get together, crochet, eat dinner, and then I started meeting their friends, and lo and behold, I was meeting other people by going out and about just with those friends. So those are truly organic, not focused on business at all. And I still have one of my most dearest friends. Her and I met. She moved here from Maryland, and we met in 2014, same year that I reinstated with Scentsy, and we are still friends to this day. So anyway, the previous life that I had in Northern Virginia, I worked for a Westin hotel, the Westin Washington Dulles. If you're familiar, that's right outside of the DC area and the Washington Dulles airport, obviously. And I actually was hired by them to be their a sales manager. They did not have a position for me. They created it just based on my previous experience bringing in previous experience bringing in past business back, like something that was lost at previous, the company I worked for previously. So I could show that I brought back old business. And then I showed that I could bring in new business too. So they made this position for me, proactive sales manager. And I actually brought in a ton of new business, brought back old business based on relationships. And the people that I worked for really didn't appreciate it. They didn't want more work. So a lot of them didn't like me because I was just handing them, work and new people to talk to, new bookings to do. whether it was, you know, a set of rooms that need to be booked, or a meeting space that needed to be booked, or a wedding that needed to be booked. So something like that, if you guys understand the sales aspect of hotels. So I'm just trying to tell you that these are things that I've done in the past that I brought into my Cincy business. And so to give myself a little bit of, I guess, backbone, if you will, for why you should listen to me, I guess. So anyhow, the way that I have used that proactive sales manager role in Cincy is that I have officially started using Facebook. Well, this was back in what, 2015, because I was about to get married. I was 1 month away from getting married, and I decided that I was going to do this really awesome thing on Facebook in a group. And I basically was posting to find new customers. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just decided to do it. So I went onto Facebook, and can somebody just shout out a city or a town that they live in, whether it's, you know, jumping onto the video or want to put it in the chat, just to give me an idea of where somebody might live right now.
California.
Okay, what part of California?
Belmont.
Belmont. Okay,
It's near San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay, and I see Virginia Beach. Very cool. Okay, so so obviously that was super fun, like being able to tell me where you live. I love the interaction, so I don't feel like I'm all alone here. But okay, so I see Fort Mill, South Carolina. That's not far from me, you guys. Hi, Amanda. And Clover, South Carolina. I don't know where that's at. Anyhow.
New Jersey?
Yep. Okay, what part of New Jersey?
Carney's Point.
Okay. Norfolk, California, Wisconsin, Charlotte. Yes. Charlotte, I got my SFR shirt on. Okay, so I'm sorry. I love tangents. You guys, I'm sure you're very familiar with tangents. Everybody's just like, you know, always talking on a tangent. So anyway, let's reel it back in. So if you are in Charlotte, I'm going to just use Charlotte because that's the one that sticks out the most to me right at this moment. Go on to Facebook. There is a search bar. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this and they know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, go up to the search bar, type in the word Charlotte, whatever your town is, or your county, your city, and put mom swap or yard sale or buy, sell, trade, or there's so many, you guys. There's mom swap, there's moms of preschoolers, there's probably a dad's group. I know we've got some guys here. Yep, thank you, Karen. City, and then mom swap, yard sale, buy, sell, trade, things of that nature. Anything you can think of that, thank you, Karen, for typing all of that in. I appreciate it. So anything that you can think of that would bring you in contact with multiple people who probably have something in common with you. So, and that could end up being a crochet group or a photography group or a dog group or anything like that. But I will tell you that predominantly I see the easiest and the quickest response in those types of groups, the ones that I mentioned, the mom swaps, the buy, sell, trade pages, the yard sale pages. Looking at that in your area or different perspective, somewhere that you want to grow. Maybe you're relocating. Maybe you don't know anybody like I did. Going to Charleston, South Carolina, I didn't know anybody. So if you're looking to grow something in a different town or different city, or you just, you know, want to expand your business, just maybe even 100 miles away. Okay, so that being said, you're going to find your group, whatever that is. You're going to go into your group and you're going to kind of get a better idea of how many people are in those groups. I generally will look for groups like Charleston Mom Swap. We have about 16,000 people in just one of them, and we have 5 different subgroups of that. And so I'll go in and I'll say, okay, I'll do my post. Now, you guys don't try and like recreate the wheel. It's super simple. Don't add photos, don't add URLs, don't overthink it. Excuse me. You're going to go into the group and you're going to post, I have 25 or however many you have, I have 25 Scentsy goodie bags. And then you say, who wants one? Question mark. You can say, I have 25 free Scentsy goodie bags. You could say, you don't have to say free, but they are free because they're samples. These are not mystery bags. These are not gift baskets. These are truly, truly just something you're putting in the mail that you might send as a follow-up or a thank you to somebody that has made a purchase from you. But you're going to take that mindset and you're going to shift it and you're going to say, okay, what am I going to get in front of somebody who's never bought from me? And I want to, have a small investment. Obviously, it's not going to be a huge amount, right? So we want to do it in a mass amount. I am going to tell you what I put in mine or give you an idea of what you could put in yours, but I am going to kind of walk you through the steps first. So you find your group, you make your post. The first time I did this, you guys, I had 74 responses. 74 responses very quickly. And I think I did it at night too. So that might have helped. It might just be a different group of people. But I had 74 responses. And like I said, I did this for the first time a month, 1 month before my wedding in 2015. I had 74 responses. And I capped it at that. I was like, I can't do more than 74. And I want to say I got pretty darn close to that many addresses, but that's how many responses I had. Now, the steps that you need to take for when you make the post, you're going to like the comment. You're going to friend request each of them. Now, I know that might be a little scary for some people, but you kind of got to get it outside of your box to open up your ability to grow your audience, to grow your friendship circle or friend list. So you've got to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. If you want to put your pictures on like in an album that somebody else can't see, maybe it's no friend, like acquaintances or whatever. I know there's different settings. If you have a concern about photos, put them on friends only, and then make those people that you're adding, make them an acquaintance. You can do that. However, if you don't care about that stuff, let's move on, right? So you're going to request them as a friend. You're going to like their comment. Then you're going to send them a private message, and you're going to say, thank you so much for your interest in my Scentsy goodie bags. Have you used Scentsy? You could say, have you used Scentsy? Or you could say, do you use Scentsy? Or you could say, when was the last time you used Scentsy? And if they say, I don't use Scentsy, I never have, you could say, well, what do you scent your home with? What kind of air fresheners do you use? You're just trying to engage them and ask questions. I typically would say, if you can ask a couple questions and get them feeling a little bit more comfortable with talking to you, generally speaking, they're going to give you the address that you are going to need, right? Okay, so somebody asked if I have a limit on my goodie bags. That's going to be based on what your availability is of your supplies. Now, I will tell you, I started doing this at the end of no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. It was at the end of, I got married in, today's my wedding anniversary, by the way. So I got married in October. So I think this was in September. And maybe even the end of August. So it could have been when we had our transition month in August, but it could have also been, anyways, it doesn't matter. End of a transition period is a really great time to get rid of your supplies, right? So if you're going to say, I want to focus on getting rid of these supplies, I have a ton of product lists, or I have a ton of showcase brochures. This is where you're going to, this is going to be a good time to do it. But going into a new season, you're buying your product list or your showcase brochures, and maybe you buy extra and you say, okay, I only can do 25 or I only can do 50. You got to tell yourself what that is and how much money you want to spend, because there is the postage involved too. I will say, you guys, and I don't recommend this, but for a really long time, I actually delivered these everywhere. everywhere I got their addresses, and I actually went to their homes and delivered them in just like a little, I'm going to probably age myself here, but do you remember when you get a newspaper thrown at your door or thrown onto your driveway? It's like a newspaper bag. It usually has a little handle on it. I get those on Uline or Amazon. You can get thousands for like so cheap. But when I would do it, I would go and put them on, they're called doorknob bags, and I would just hang them on their doorknob. Now, I definitely found the times when I would get some sketchy neighborhoods or sketchy like trailer parks or things like that. So I kind of decided it was in my best interest to just kind of focus on mailing things. So you need to decide what that looks like. So that's kind of my tangent. Again, sorry for going off on a tangent, but just the idea of limiting your bags is going to be based on your availability of supplies and your availability of postage. Okay, so you've found the group, you've made the post, you have friend requested them, you have liked their post, their comment, and you've gone into your private messages and you've sent them a message. And it's something along the lines of, thank you so much for your interest in my Scentsy Goody Bags. And then say something to the effect of, what type of products do you use to scent your home? Or you can ask them if they use Scentsy. Anything that's going to engage them, right? Okay, so once you get to the point where you feel comfortable with asking them for their address, which obviously they're going to know that you're going to need it, they should be feeling okay giving that to you. There are going to be some people who don't want to give it to you, and they're like, well, you have to ask them, well, how do you expect me to send you a goodie bag if you're not going to give me your address? So anyway, once you have sent that message, they may immediately see it, but if they don't, then you can, and honestly, I generally do it anyways, just so I kind of keep track of who I have communicated with. I will go back to the comments and I will say, please be sure to check your private messages. I've sent you a message, or please be sure to check your messages. Something along those lines. Okay, so let me get a drink real quick. So once you have had these conversations and you've gotten everybody's address, that comes to the point where you're needing to send them out. So you need to decide what you're going to send out. So I decided I was going to go ahead and just pull a few things together that I have usually sent in the past. It may not be all of these things, but most of us have an idea of what we could send, right? We have an assortment of things. So you could do a showcase brochure. We always have labels on them. We have labeled everything, right? So showcase brochure or a product list. I did not get any product lists this time because I wasn't using them very often, but for this specific thing, that's what I generally would use, is a product list. Product list or a showcase brochure. That's the first thing. The next thing is going to be some type of sticker sheet, whatever that looks like. So this is one that is now outdated because of the Mickey Mouse pumpkin. But anyway, some type of sticker sheet, right? Because that way they can have something to sniff. If that is all you want to send, that's totally okay. This is samples. You said you were sending a goodie bag with samples. If you want to add to it, you can. So I have the harvest brochure you could send out. I have the harvest collection, which I know some have sold out, and it's a really great way to talk to people about Scentsy Club. I actually got a clubber because I sent this to somebody in the mail and they fell in love. Still part of Scentsy Club, and I got a new clubber because of it. So that's a really great way to push Scentsy Club with new prospects. And then I have something always that has my face on it, things that about me, and I have no idea who made this, but I just, replicated it to reflect my experience with Scentsy, trying to get somebody to join my team and giving them the reason why. And then sent to the month. And then I also have a drawing slip, and it says to text me their completed form. And then my plan would be to send them a scent circle if they do so. that's my plan. Okay. So once you've sent this out, the biggest part of this process is to follow up. Doesn't matter what you send. You can just say, well, what did you think of Forever Fall? Or what did you think of, I don't know, what was your favorite scent on the sticker sheet? Did you know you could rub and sniff those stickers? Anyway, that is truly, that's it. It seems like it's this long drawn out process. I did it in 20 minutes. So I apologize because there was a lot of backstory to it, but that's it. And I have gotten lots of recruits. Obviously, we talked about Whitney Hebel. If you don't know who that is, it's a superstar director. She attended Swirl the second week as well. And she did this actually while we were at Swirl. And then I think she did it again. And she got her a recruit from it. She got it was a $40 kit person. But I've gotten recruits, I've gotten hosts, I've gotten people who have bought from me, obviously. And I will tell you, when you friend request somebody, even if they don't buy from you, they still are supporting you, because I have had many people who are on my friends list who have not bought from me, and we have connected because of those swap pages, and they tag me. They tag me in a lot of stuff when somebody's looking for a Scentsy consultant. So I don't know if I missed any question.
I have a couple of questions. Okay. So I know at Swirl you were telling us kind of about the size of group you're like. What would you like? I know you said like the group that you were talking about had like 16,000 in it. Like, do I want a group that has 25 people, or do I want to have a group that has 10,000? Like, what is there? Are there some guidelines?
I would personally always focus on getting in a group of at least 1,000 or more.
Okay.
It could be a group of 500 and you could still get in front of a lot of people, but I find that a lot of people go kind of inactive or don't get notifications from groups. So I feel like the more or the bigger the group, the more the more opportunity you're going to have for those people to respond.
And so then my next question would be, so you send them out. So say I've sent them out and I'm going to follow up, but then they don't order. Like, am I going to get mad about this, or am I going to still just roll with it? Am I going to add them to like my project broadcast, or what do you do with them then?
So when I have somebody who doesn't want to place an order or can't place an order, I will tell them that they can get free and half price product. I try and actually book a party from it. And if I'm still feeling like they don't want to do that, then I'll just, I'll keep them on a list. Usually I use some type of tag. So you could tag them. If you use Project Broadcast, you could tag them and then just say, would you mind if I reached out in like a month or two to just check in? And I mean, you ask them, you put that out there. Don't be scared to do so, because they had interest in Scentsy. So they may want to hear from you. It just might not be a good time. You are going to find people who are just interested in getting something for free. And I will tell you, a lot of people get caught up on that. And sorry, y'all. I have a 4-month-old kitten. We just got him 2 weeks ago. It was right before I left for the Destin. Anyways, anyway, the following up and getting ghosted, or the following up and them not buying, you just really can't take that personal. You've just got to say you are going to do as many as you possibly can. That's why I say if you can do 50 goodie bags, you're not going to focus on the outcome of all of them. You're going to focus on the outcome of maybe 10% of them. So if you got 5 people to, buy from you, or do a party, or a mix of that, that's a success to me. But that's why we keep doing it. This isn't a one and done at all. I find that if you can do this as often as, if you're in the growth mindset of your business, where we should all be. But maybe you're in a place where you need a lot more customers. Maybe you're brand new, or like a reinstatement. I was a reinstatement and I needed new people. All the people who bought from me previously, I didn't have contact with anymore. Like, they were definitely not going to buy from me anymore. And so that's when I would be in a growth, wanting to grow my list. Now, someone who might be in business for 10 or 12 years, they might have a pretty significant list they could fall back on, but people join your team. People host a lot. They don't want to be asked all the time to buy or host or join your team. So you're going to want to constantly add to your list. So,
yeah, that's really, in my opinion, the most important part of this business is continuing to widen your circle, right? So you're always wanting to be adding new people into your customer funnel, for lack of a better word, right?
yeah.
So, Angie wants to know, when your friend requests them, do you drop them into your VIP group at that point? Do you wait? What do you do?
I don't have a VIP group.
I was like, I have one, but it's Nicole will tell you, it's like deader than dead. Like, I keep saying
crickets.
we should get rid of it and maybe start a new one. Like the analytics have to be horrible, right? But it's not something,
Yeah, I truly believe, and this may come in time with some people. I did the business page. I did I don't want to have anything on my personal wall about Scentsy. And then I had the VIP group, and I didn't do the business page anymore. And then VIP group kind of, fell off. There were people in there that I would keep adding people to it, and those people weren't buying from me. And then I'd be like, okay, well, which ones do I need to delete, and which ones are buying from me? And then, who's on my team? I need to delete those. It just got to be too much, because I was posting on my VIP group and I was posting on my profile. And I was like, you know what? Scentsy is part of my life, and I post lifestyle marketing, really. It may not be all the time. I mean, I definitely have the times where, oh my gosh, brand new catalog. Here's the link to my catalog, or an image like the Mickey pumpkin warmer. We get those images. We don't, I didn't have it in my house, so I couldn't just say, hey, here's my new warmer. But those are the types of things you should be doing to get in front of people who may not be buying from you. And so, no, I don't have a VIP group, and I don't put them in a VIP group when I meet them. They are on my friends list, and that's it.
That's awesome. Does anyone else have questions? You guys, it's a really simple strategy to grow and widen your customer circle. Now, I don't recommend it be your only strategy, right? But it's something easy that you can implement, right? And you can always do it. So, like, how often do you, and I know it would be based on your budget and what your needs are. Like you said, like someone who's just starting out might need, but like how often would you repeat it in the same group, or are you rotating groups, or what are you doing?
I would say if you did it once a month, and let's say you're a brand new consultant and you're really trying hard to meet new people, the family and friends thing is over with, they're not supporting you, whatever, I would do it once a month, and I would pick 3 or 4 different groups if you can, and post in them, maybe have 6, and you post once a month, and you recycle that every 2 times a year. But for me, I find that every 6 months is a good time frame, and it kind of boosts your confidence too. Like, that there are still people who have no idea what Scentsy is, and getting Scentsy in front of and under their nose, and then having them fall in love with Scentsy. It makes you feel confident in this business once more. Like, we all get in our ruts here and there. So it really does help with that. So every 6 months, usually for me, but if I was in that period where I was trying to get a lot really quickly, I would be doing it once a month.
Awesome. And someone's asking, what do you do if you see a group that says no MLM? Would you just avoid that group? What would you do?
Honestly, I don't consider this selling. And I mean, you could try. You always try. I always say, what's the harm in trying? Post it, and then if they delete it, then say peace out and just leave the group and go find another group.
Can you just do that peace out again? I'd like to see that again.
Peace out. And it's just, I find that so many consultants, and this is so true for so many of us, and it doesn't matter where you're at in your business, there are times where we take things personal, and you can't take this stuff personal, whether it's somebody deleting your post or somebody, hating on MLMs or direct sales. I mean, you can't let that stop you. And then I saw the comment about the other consultants.
And Nicole, I wasn't fast enough to do that. If I'd been super fast, I would have taken a picture. Okay, wait, hold on. Go ahead.
You got it? Okay.
Do it again. That's going on Facebook. Okay.
And the tie-dye. I mean, it goes together, guys. Peace out. So, okay. So somebody asked, posting on social media. Yes, Angie, so you said you're rebranding and basically restarting and you need fresh meat. This is a fantastic way to do so. I think it kind of, like I said, it builds your confidence back up. You're going to start talking to people. This is more of a passive approach because you're giving them something that they want and you're not asking for anything in return. You're just saying, this is a no strings attached. I just want to send you samples. And that's why I don't like it when people say, oh, well, I can't post anything about businesses. Don't let that stop you because you're not posting about your business. You're posting about giving somebody something for free. And if you go to the yard sale pages, generally speaking, they're not going to be so like Karen. Oops.
That's like the worst. I tell my mom that all the time. Do you know what you did to me naming me this?
You need to go. What's your middle name, Karen?
Suzanne, which is not much better.
I like it. I think you
She's
should
like, I didn't even want to name you that. Your dad wouldn't let me name you what I wanted to name you. It's all good.
We had that conversation.
We did.
Okay, the other thing Shannon mentioned, she said if another consultant comments on it and tries to message the people that are commenting, I would just say that that's really freaking shady and I wouldn't want to do business with them. But I guess it probably could happen. But they also might ask for free samples. They might also say, what are you sending to them? It could help them. I mean, be the bigger person for sure. Yes. Okay. So Becky asked if I send felt samples. So these are all my little felt samples. Sorry guys, I'm dealing with something, allergy for sure. It's really crappy right now. So I apologize. I'm clearing my throat a lot. But these are my felt samples. Somebody made this really cute little flyer and I just made felt samples. So these are ones that I have previously sent. And yes, I would use felt samples. Now, if you want to send just stickers, you totally can. You don't have to send anything else. If you wanted to just send stickers, you could. Now, I do have just that too. Like you could send just a scent of the month, right? And it's not September anymore, guys. It's October. And I have so many of these because it smells so good. I don't even care. So I'm still sending those out. But the other thing, maybe once you get to a point where you want to send more than just stickers or felt, if you're, into like the bougie type of sampling, you could do wax. I find that if you are going to do something that is Scentsy related, sending to somebody you're not sure if they actually have a warmer, I wouldn't use wax. I use the atomizer bottles to the little bottles, like perfume samples. And this is like the fabric spray, that's fluffy fleece. And then I get these are little test tube looking things that I got on Amazon. I love them. These are really great for the all-purpose cleaner. So if you If you want to do something a little bit extra, that would be what I would suggest. But I tend to only use what's the least expensive when you're trying to do this in a mass amount. Oh, the other big part of this is all of this that I had here that I showed you, right? I have a whole boatload of stuff. It does fit in my number 10 envelope. And I probably would not send all of this just because it would be a non-machinable stamp, which are like 90 cents now or something. So, okay. Lakin, is it Lakin? Lakin, I think it really is going to depend on what you put in the mailer. You could literally send sticker sheet and a harvest flyer and a product list and maybe a felt sample. Now, if the felt sample makes it rigid, you could probably kind of stick it in between. And I always try and envision your tax envelopes. If you ever have sent income tax documents in, like those packages or those envelopes are pretty thick. And so I feel like, I mean, that would be a number 10 envelope, even though it has a more rigid felt sample inside. But I also have these really, really flat, I don't have them. I have really, really itty bitty skinny felt samples that I can do too. These come in a huge bag, 1,000 or something from Amazon. The ones that I have here obviously are the Scentsy ones that soak up a ton of stuff. So, yes, regular number 10 envelope. These are whatever you want to use, honestly. I think just using old testers is okay. I don't have extra to. She said, okay, Kim is saying, think just using old testers is okay. I don't have extra to make other samples right now. I actually would say if you have old testers, that's going to be a lot of money to put in the mail. It's going to be more expensive than really you may get in return, to be honest. So if I were you, let's pretend this is a tester. So this is one of those that we get in the whiff box, right? Take this, melt it down, get yourself some cheap felt, and put them in. You know, I'm in the midst of making samples if you guys couldn't tell. So these are the, they're 3x4 bags. Just put a little 5160 on there. And then you have all of this wax from that tester. It will still smell really good. And you put it on the felt and you probably could make a solid, you might be able to make 25 felt samples out of a tester. Okay. Jen, we have a few holiday fairs coming up. Can we do a Scentsy table? I've heard some consultants do that in the past. Oh, heck yeah. So anytime you want to do an event, I will tell you that just a quick small tangent. Again, sorry for the tangent, but I have a consultant that is a superstar consultant on my team who is doing an event that requires a business license to sell product. She doesn't want to get a business license. So they said, well, you can actually come and have information. And I said, this is a great opportunity for her to showcase what Scentsy is and be able to give out samples and maybe showcase something she's done. So whether that's a realtor basket or a business display that you can show somebody that it would look like in their business. You could also do like a boo bucket. So if this is a holiday fair, so you probably want to focus on small little teacher gifts. You could put something like that together. So you could have as a sample on a display table, but you're not selling those things. You're just showing people what you're able to do for them. And that's what I actually, I'm actually encouraging my frontline to do that. And she's actually going to do goodie bags. I love goodie bags, you guys. It's the way to go. She's doing goodie bags on a group that is in the same town as the fair, as the market that she's doing. So I would encourage you to do that and then put a little something in there that gets them to go to your table. So you send them this goodie bag, let's say it's a month in advance, they've got a golden ticket to get to your table and to get a free item. That's what Amanda's going to do. She's going to have a golden ticket in a goodie bag. She's going to give it away a month or so in advance to get them to come to the event, to go to her table, to get a free sample, free product, whatever you want to do. She's going to do scent circles. So that is my golden nugget for the night, because that was something that actually we brainstormed on Marco Polo on the way to Destin when she was working. So
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. Becky says she sends a newsletter, a scent of the month flyer, felt samples every month with a stamp. Okay. So yes, that is for your thank you mail. You could do exactly the same thing for your goodie bags. It started off as goodie bags because I would literally put them in the plastic bags and take them to people. And I will tell you a favorite pastime of mine, you guys, it's not dead, is the door-to-door canvassing in your neighborhoods. You could go to a neighboring neighborhood. If you've already tapped out some people that live in your neighborhood, go to a neighboring neighborhood and take your goodie bags, obviously this stuff, and put them in your little doorknob bags. They have little holes at the top. You can get thousands for like $20. And you literally load yourself up in your car with a box full and just walk around a neighborhood and put them on doorknobs. Don't put them in mailboxes because that's a federal offense. But I love canvassing. And I will tell you, I also have gotten a lot of new connections that way too. And that is not a dead market there. It's definitely a really great way to meet new people. Jen is asking, you have them fill out a raffle to get a goodie bag, this swag bag. If you're talking about at the event, this is actually a goodie bag posting on a local group that is near where the market is going to be. So the market is going to be in Ridgeville, South Carolina. So there is a Ridgeville word of mouth page, which is another type of like swap page, right? Word of mouth, yard sale type page. And so she's posting on the Ridgeville word of mouth page to tell people, hey, I'm going to be at this market. I'd love for you to come. I have goodie bags. Who wants one? And then she'd send them in the mail to those people that request them. Inside the bag has the golden ticket. The golden ticket is telling them to go to her table at the event to get their free product. So she's giving away a scent circle. That is her plan. And at her table, if people are attending that didn't get a goodie bag, she's going to actually have them fill out a drawing slip, right like this, to get a goodie bag in person. And then I think she's doing another golden ticket with a I want to say like a free product, with their drawing slip. So basically telling them, fill out this drawing slip, you're going to get a free goodie bag, and then you can get a free product if you text me or something to that effect. I know she hasn't worked through that exactly, but that is a really great way to connect with people before the event and during the event and then after the event too. Let's see. Vicky says, what do you put on your drawing slip to have them fill it out and text you? A Post-it note. So this is just going in the envelope. It says, text your completed form to me. I don't think you can't overcomplicate that, guys. That's what I'm going to do. And if they don't want to do it, it's okay. But if they do this and they send it to me in a text, everybody's going to win, right? You can just say you've won and I'm sending you something in the mail, and you send them a scent circle. And these are going to be the people that have already gotten my samples. So now it's one step further. They're connecting with you via your phone, right? They are not in the message. I tend to ask for just their home address, right? Or their mailing address when I'm giving away goodie bags. But they may not give me their phone or email. But this way, I ask them to text me, and then that way I'm getting their phone number, right? once they've gotten this in the mail. It's funny, Becky, you say you do Halloween swag bags, give them to the parents with some candy. I did that one year when we first moved here, same time frame as when I started the Goody Bags, and I would go out with my baby at the time. She was teeny tiny, and we would walk the neighborhood and just introduce ourselves to neighbors and stuff. And I would give out samples, probably the cute little molded candy melt samples that I, of course took forever to make, and I don't do that anymore. But I would hand those out, and I just can't imagine how much wax was wasted because people don't have warmers. And I didn't have a way to follow up with them either. I never did this whole enter my drawing thing. So I definitely recommend some way, some call to action for them to connect. If you're out and about, I'm going way off. Is this too long, Karen? I'm very sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. I would also take Goody Bags with me in my purse. So when I'm out and about, I would say somebody's down the candle aisle or somebody's down the air freshener for Breeze. They're looking at, I'd be like, I can help you out with that. Like I have something better and more long lasting, and I think you'd actually like it a lot better. And I say, here, let me give you a sample. Or I meet somebody that I was like, had a common bond with, and I'll be like, well, I don't have any other way to connect with you. So here's a sample. I sell Scentsy. If you don't know what that is, it's a home fragrance company. No strings attached though. I just want to connect. Like we're mom friends, So I did that a lot at Target when my babies were little. And so I met a lot of people that way with Goody Bags in person. And that's not dead either, for sure. So, but yes, the Halloween bags, I did that for Little Jim. So if you have a connection to a company that does like swag bags for like trunk or treats or whatever, Little Jim, when my kids were really little, they had a opportunity where I could give 300 sample or 300 bags. So I got Dum Dum lollipops because they came in really big bags. And I did a Dum Dum lollipop, and I did a sample of probably wax, probably molded, that I took forever to make. And I never got anything from it, you guys, like nothing. But I would do it again in a heartbeat because you just never know. You never know who you're going to meet. And it just takes one person. We all know it just takes that one person to change your business. Any other questions? Anybody have anything you want to talk about when it comes to this process or meeting new people? Goody bags, sampling?
We'll give you a minute or two to drop in the chat if you've got a question or comment or anything else. This was great, Erin. Thank you so much.
Sure. I feel like I was a little all over the place at some point.
You were fantastic. You were great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I do have to say, mailing scent circles is much easier than sending out car bars.
Oh.
I don't know why that is, but I'm guessing because it's more flat than a car bar. Because I tried to do that this month for my raffle ticket that I do every month, and it came back, and I was just like, okay, so I'm guessing I'm doing a scent circle.
Yeah, because scent circles definitely are thinner. Your car bars are definitely more rigid, and so they're not going to fit through that slot that you have to like fit through to get like a regular stamp or non-machinable stamp. That might end up being a package if it's a car bar. So you just want to be careful with that. The scent circles and like a product sheet, I mean, literally you should be able to just use a first class stamp. Jen had mentioned a goodie bag for my hair and nail spa. I will say that I have done many a times where I've done business displays, and I would make little goodie bags where they could take one. I actually, you guys are going to laugh. I actually went through a 31 rep. I had a party way back when, and I had their little They're little square. They have a little square tote about this big, this big around. And I got them, all it says on it is take one. And I put a bunch of samples inside, and I had like 5 of those printed. I think I got most of them for free because I hosted a party. And if you can do a business display and have a really cute setup, that I definitely recommend that. If you're just giving your goodie bags to your people that are at your hair or nail salon, yeah, for sure, go for it. But definitely have a call to action, you guys. Like, I've done the whole giving them out willy-nilly, leaving them in bathrooms, leaving them in the candle aisle, which I don't recommend. Don't ever do that because you could get in trouble with the store. But don't do like the willy-nilly thing unless you're going to have something with a call to action. And I will tell you, if you didn't know, this new update on the iPhone, you actually can like connect with people just by touching phones, and you share your contact that way. And it makes it super easy to connect with somebody who you're meeting in person. Jen said, I already told them I have a goodie bag for them, but didn't think to give goodie bags for their clients. Yes. So leaving a place, maybe it's on their table. I would honestly do a fragrance flower as a business display, and something small like a nail salon, where they have a small table where their nails are drying, or maybe on where they're actually working. And then you could have a QR code on the fragrance flower or on something that's next to the fragrance flower, just because they're limited on space. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that for sure. Goodie bag mom for the rest of the months. I love it. Yes. And then Jen also said, they're going to allow me to leave my business brochures and sample cards there. And then she said, I appreciate you both. Thank you for that. I appreciate you guys being here and showing up for your business and trying something new. If I missed anybody, I'm really sorry. But please feel free. I think Karen is going to add me to your all's team page.
Yep.
If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I actually did this exact training for I have it on a YouTube channel. So if for whatever reason you need another video of this, if something happens to this video, I have that too to share. And then that way you have that as a backup. So
This was fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to share.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope you guys
Erin,
will all step outside of your business and try something new. And if you want to follow Erin on social media, Erin, what's your Instagram?
my name.
Your name?
Erin Fluharty. I think it's just Erin Fluharty. Maybe it's SC at the end. Very, very simple. Just look my name up. There's not many people who have my last name. My husband is to blame for that. And iPad 2, I think it may have come through as a direct message. I don't know if you meant that, but she or he said, thank you for all the tips. I'm having a hard time getting started. I have exhausted all my friends and family. Yes. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many raise of hands that can say, I don't have very many people in my family and friends circle that buy from me, guys. Yep. Like that is the truth, hand to God. And
you will exhaust that. You'll exhaust that quickly if you do, right? You have to step outside of that to grow a successful business, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, let's see, they're finding you. Awesome. Thank you, Erin. It's your anniversary, so I'm gonna give you back to your husband.
He's asleep. It's fine. But yeah. Thank you for
you've been married a while. Yep.
Yes.
All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night for Work It Wednesday. Thanks, Erin.
Bye. Thanks.